Hey there guys! Right, I'm going to review Resident Evil 6, but I'm going to be doing it quite differently to how I reviewed other games. Other games have had some sort of script when I review them, except with this one, because it's a game I really despise, I'm just going to go off the top of my head, because I'm probably going to be ranting on about it for a few minutes. So, one of the major problems about this game is, I'm not going to rag on it for it being an action game and not a horror game, even though it is a Resident Evil game, because like I said, I think in my Resident Evil 3 or 4 review, I consider there to be two trilogies in the Resident Evil games. There is the survival horror 1, 2 and 3, then there is the more action-based, well, progressively action-based games, Resident Evil 4, 5 and 6. 4 being still survival horror-ish, but more action-based. 5 being action-based. 6 being, we want to try to top the Modern Warfare games for set pieces, and we don't want you to do anything about them, so we're just going to throw in about 600 quick time events. Because that's what Resident Evil 6 does. Resident Evil 6 is quick time events. Going to set pieces. So many times, right, at one point, Leon's on a motorbike going across a roof, right? And while it might be fun to physically control yourself, do they let you? No. What do? Quick time events. When you're fighting, what do? Quick time events. When you're shooting, what do? Quick time events every other reload. The game has too many quick time events, and it suffers the same problem the Hitman Absolution's combat system has. While the stealth in Hitman may be good, the melee isn't, because that's quick time events. While I have no actual problems with quick time events, as long as they're not overused, when they're used to the extent that Resident Evil 6 does, can't stand it. For example, a game that does quick time events moderately well is the God of War series. They will only use them during boss fights, but only when you're doing something extra super special, like breaking a ship's mast and dragging a Hydra's head, mouth first, through it as if it was like a spear. That probably warrants a quick time event, because there isn't many ways you can do it pressing a button, because it's probably not something you'd be doing every other enemy. Whereas in Resident Evil 6, every single time you get grabbed by an enemy, I'm not going to call them zombies, they're not zombies, an enemy, quick time event. Every time your partner gets grabbed by a zombie because they are retarded, quick time event. And that happens a lot. It just does. You know, I'm thinking about doing reviews like this more often. I'll probably get my thoughts across quite quicker. I don't hate many games at all. It's just Resident Evil 6 truly angered me. So let's just say a bit about, I'm not even going to do this plot because I didn't finish it. I got quite far in, then just got really angry and broke it. Well, I didn't break it, I just kind of threw it down the back of a wardrobe. By the way, I pay for my games. My parents don't. I do. I don't have parents. Well, I have parent, but she's never here. She's not even here now. So, I pay for my games. I make my own money. Side jobs and that. So, yeah, I just kind of threw it behind a wardrobe, and it's probably still there now. Unless the spiders have eaten it. Poor them. Either way, there are 4 stories or scenarios, like the old Resident Evil games, where you play as Leon and Sherry, the little girl from Resident Evil 2. Leon has not aged, by the way, except for a little bit of stubble. And Sherry, who was a little girl in Resident Evil 2, and Leon was in Resident Evil 2. Leon looks fairly similar in the pre-rendered cutscenes in Resident Evil 2. Leon looks pretty much the same as he does now, just now he has a bit more of a stubble. Also, Leon's quite stupid. You'd think this is Leon's 3rd outing in the so-called zombie apocalypse. Resident Evil 2, 4 and 6. The even numbers, right? Yet at the start, the president is seen zombified and about to attack his partner at the time, okay? How does this make sense? He tells the president to stop where he is. He can clearly tell that this president is no longer a person. His mouth is wide open, his face is all messed up, and there's blood everywhere. He knows that the president's a zombie. He's telling... Yeah, that made no sense, did it? Yeah, he's telling him to not attack. What? Leon wouldn't do that! Leon would have shot him straight away. He wouldn't have hesitated. He would have known that he's a zombie. It's just a fact. He's gone. Okay, my favourite part about Resident Evil 6, the only good part, is a bit of Leon's story. Because between the 3 story arcs, Chris Redfield and his partner Piers, I played about an hour of that. There's Albert Wesker's son, you know, because they need to. Because, you know, Albert Wesker, he's died about 7 times in this series, and now they need some other form of Wesker, so they've got his son. However, he's a good guy. He's called Jake. He melee fights. But guess what melee is? Quick time events. It's really annoying. So his story is... Leon's story has actual zombies, which is quite funny and quite good. However, you still don't feel like they're zombies. Because they don't feel any different from the Los Ganados in Resident Evil 4. They don't feel like zombies because of how quickly they move, if you get my feeling. Or in Chris's story was the one that annoyed me the most, because it's a straight up third person shooter with him. They aren't zombies, they're not like half zombies, they're not Magini or Los Ganados. They are straight up soldiers with messed up faces that every so often burst into some sort of tentacle monster thing that every single boss in Resident Evil 5 was. And as for Jake has a sort of mixture. Jake's enemies aren't soldiers as much as street thugs with guns with messed up faces. So we've got zombies that don't feel like zombies, we've got soldiers with messed up faces, and we've got street thugs with messed up faces. Those are the enemies of this game, people. That's it. Along with some monsters here and there that you have to kill that annoys me, because it feels too much like Monster Hunter, which ironically is made by Capcom. You know, I could rant about this game for hours. This game truly annoyed me. I was hoping it would be good, because the only trailers I saw were the Leon's trailers, so I was thinking, wow, it might actually be a good game. Then it comes out. And there we go. Okay, guys. I think if I go on any longer, I'm going to be droning on. So, guys, that's it. If you enjoyed, thanks for watching. See you later.